How did the idea for Owlstone come about?
So Owlstone was started by myself and two other researchers, Dave and Andrew. Andrew, doing his PhD in Cambridge, came up with the original idea for the sensor. He was thinking about ways in which you could make a small electronic nose for security type applications. One day inspiration struck. The rough design of the sensor was drawn on the back of a beer mat, and that's pretty much the core of the platform ever since.
What's the core technology and what is the story behind the name Owlstone?
So our core technology is based on an electronic nose. Your own nose can sniff out lots of different gases. We've been able to put that type of functionality onto a microchip. And the unique thing is that you can program this for lots of different applications. So you can take the same chip, use it in defense and security to look for things like explosives and toxic gases, right through to things like medical diagnostics, where you can look at chemicals on the breath to indicate disease and illness. The name came about, it's quite an interesting story. There's a silver chalice, which is about 800 years old, owned by Pope Pius II. And in the heart of the chalice, there's a small gemstone, which would change color if there was arsenic in his drink. It was called the Owlstone. So we are the 21st century incarnation of chemical detection.
Looking at where you started and where you are now, have you travelled far from the original vision for the business?
I think our original vision was, what can you do when you have a tiny electronic nose? So I think there's still, a bit further for us to go to realize that ultimate vision. But where we are today, supplying instrumentation into things like homeland security, military applications, and also industrial process control, they were things that we did have in our business plan from day one. So I'd say today we are where we wanted to be. But we've still got ways to go to get to things like medical diagnostics in the future.
Have any particular target markets come to take priority on your commercial agenda?
So when we got started, because our focus was very much military and security, the US was our primary geographic target. We actually incorporated the company in America, hired a US-based CEO, Brett Bader, who had worked for Smiths Detection, the market leader. So pretty much from day one, we knew we wanted to have a very strong presence in America, and we've done that over the years.
Can you explain the dynamic between Owlstone in the UK and Owlstone in the US?
Sure. So in Cambridge, we have all our R&D and product development. So Cambridge is a phenomenal place to have great engineers and scientists. So here we're able to implement the technology and the products. But because our primary commercial focus and our customer base is in America, we did place a very strong emphasis on having a strong American presence. So all the commercial activity interfacing with the US government happens primarily in the US.
How important is your presence on Cambridge Science Park to your growth strategy, and can we expect further growth in Cambridge?
So Cambridge has been a great home for Owlstone, both in terms of actually getting people to work in the company. You can get phenomenal people to work in product development here, as well as having great people. There's also the general support you get from within the business community. As well, and our company's always been amazingly thankful for the help that we've got from seasoned entrepreneurs throughout the years. So Cambridge will always be our home and our hub for R&D in the future, and we hope to continue our growth over the next few years.
Can we expect to see new generations of existing technology evolving, or new technologies coming out of Owlstone?
I think because our microchip, you can program it for lots of different applications. I think our focus for the next few years at least will be to try and push this into a range of different applications. So at the heart of it is this core microchip, and we see our growth more driven into different applications and markets.
Do you have sufficient funding to follow through your existing roadmap?
Yeah, so with funding over the years, I think we raised about $40 million in total. So our focus now is very much on monetizing, selling the equipment that we have. We see down the line opportunities like medical instrumentation, medical diagnostics, where we may go to raise growth capital to fund those specific opportunities.
Do you perceive an IPO at any stage, or if so, would this be London or Nasdaq or elsewhere?
So in terms of exit, we've got a lot of investors in the company, and the company's prime aim is to give a return to those investors. Today the focus is on boosting the sales, generating income to help drive that shareholder value. And whether the exit is an IPO or a trade sale, we think that will take care of itself as long as we execute on our plan.
Do any aspects of running an internationally significant business keep you awake at night?
So I think there's a huge amount of change in how businesses operate, especially in how you do sales and marketing in B2B type companies. So that is something which is both a worrying thing, but also a very significant opportunity. I think there's a lot of new tools and new processes and new ways of driving growth in sales, and it's making sure that we are ahead of those types of trends to get the benefits in the Owlstone for that.